Hello everyone, it's Sunday afternoon and I have the Sunday afternoon haircut or hairdo to come to you with today. I've been out at the downstream area and have just been enjoying some relaxing time with my husband and just trying to kind of regroup for the week and everything. So what I'm going to do uh, is I'm going to do a live video here, hopefully. All right. Um, okay, so how do I do this? Approve. Bring them on camera. Ah, you're there. Okay.
Here!
That helped that you knew what you were doing, I think.
I really didn't. I just clicked it.
So, I was just getting ready to give an intro and don't you love my hair? And I have a new light, Amanda. I don't know if my lighting is any better or not in here, but um, here's the settings.
That one looks good. Nope.
Okay.
Other one.
Other one?
Yeah.
Wait, that one?
That's brighter.
Okay.
I like that.
Okay. It's crazy. So, hey, Lindy. So, Amanda and I are going to share today a little bit about some training that we've been doing, and we're going to talk about what had to happen for us to implement it, right, Amanda?
Correct.
And so, Amanda and I were working with a lady named Michelle Withers on Wednesday or Thursday night, Wednesday, some night this week.
We had her twice, so I'm not sure.
I know, I can't remember.
Oh, team
So
call was
anyway,
Thursday, so it was Wednesday.
it was Wednesday. So, which doesn't even matter, right? But so anyway, when we were working, it really, you could just see that Amanda was struggling and things, and then all of a sudden you could just see this light bulb come on. And so I wanted her to share with us about what had to happen, what caused that light bulb to come on, what was the mindset ahead of time, and what was the shift that took place, and what was the result. So can you, and I can kind of help you if you get stuck somewhere, Amanda. So just share with us if you would.
So when we went on the call, she had a routine, and of course, I'm new to this training, so I wasn't prepared like I normally am. I'm a very organized person. I'm a very scheduled person. So I was frazzled on the call. And she, of course, started with someone else, and I was still kind of trying to figure it out. And no, she asked me first. And, like, I have no idea. I have no idea. And it, like, stuck me that there was something I couldn't do. And in my brain, I was saying I couldn't do it. And I was frightened. And then my anger just kind of got a hold of my brain. And I started to get panicky and couldn't think. And she finally just gave me some examples. She went to another lady, and then she ended up coming back and working with Myrna and I. And Myrna, of course, aced it. She was awesome at it. And
well, I've been doing it a while.
Still stumped. And I'm a perfectionist, so it was really eating at me. And I also got the news that my uncle-in-law took his life, so I was just like emotionally wore out, and I was frustrated. I couldn't gather this, so I had to slide my chair back, drop a few tears, blow my nose, and slide back up. And she said, I'll come back to you. And she went to another lady, and she came back to me, and it was like when I blew my nose, she went to another lady. I was like determined I was going to do this. It was not my way of thinking. It was not my way of selling. I've been in sales for 19 years. My brain set was for selling Ford vehicles, used vehicles. And when it clicked with me, I think it was because I am not a compliment type of person. I'm more of a jabber ass type of person. So I'll just start talking and socializing and shoot the breeze, you know? And this isn't that way. There is no chit chatting. You do not chit chat at all. So when I realized that I can't be a jabber ass, I had to restructure my brain to say, okay, do my initial touch which is a compliment to them and their real life, what they got going on now. And then you wait. Like, you seriously wait for them to respond, and then you don't chit chat. Right there is where I would have started chit chatting. And that's not what you do. What you do is you say, "Oh, that's great," and then you say, "By the way, would you mind if I asked you about your hair? Or would you be open to discuss, or would you be open to a quick few minutes to discuss your hair?" And when I started doing that, I started getting a response. Normally, it might be 3 days down the road or not at all. You could see that they read it, but they didn't respond.
Yeah.
And within 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I was getting a response while she was still on the phone. And it was unbelievable. And by the time that I had done that, and the next day I signed up a VIP, this weekend I signed up another VIP,
Yeah.
and today only I have 5 people. I'm engaging with 5 people today, and I have 4 samples to send out tomorrow. So once I changed my brain set to sell and actually be compassionate and give that initial touch, it changed everything.
It shortens it up, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It's not
it
like
did.
this
It was quick.
long, drawn out process.
Yep. And I also had people that told me no. I went back to my list of people that said, "Oh, contact me when you have a flash sale. Oh, well, not this month, next month. I'm not interested. My product is great," or whatever they said. I went back and did this initial step with them, and every one of them respond. I've only had one person not respond.
Wow, that's amazing, isn't
Yep.
it?
Yep.
And so what was your ratio before of people who didn't respond?
Maybe 9 didn't say anything, and 1 did. I mean, it was.
Oh,
I mean, there
that's
were days.
phenomenal.
There were days I didn't have anybody respond. And I could reach out. I know most of the time I try to make 25 calls, and that comes from being in the car world. You have to do that. There's so many dealerships. So I would make sure that I got 25 to 50 calls is what my routine was. And half the time I wouldn't get anybody call me back. And
Right.
that first night she trained us, she said 10 to 15. Well, I went to town. After it clicked with me, I sat here and buzzed out 15, and I got 14 responses.
So now I have a question. Who are you messaging? Are you messaging people that commented on posts, or are you messaging people in the green dot area of your Facebook chat, or what are you doing?
So right now what I do is I kind of have a schedule. So in the morning I go to my Facebook page and I do an open question. I don't know if you've noticed the ABC multiple.
Yep.
Been called in. I have a multiple choice, and if they respond, oh my goodness, if they respond with a like, I add them to my hair page. If they comment like participating A, B, or C, I like it, and then I do a kind of a comment like, do you prefer whatever I'm asking? Like, I try to engage some more so that it's an engagement, and then I message them as well saying, are you open to discuss this? Do you have a quick minute? I have a question. I'm learning my new business. I would just like different opinions or options from other people. Kind of gauging their posture. She also taught us that they react better to you if you use their posture. So if they swear, you swear. If they're prop and primper, you prop and primper. If they're doing this, you do this. And you always repeat their words back to them. So if you're selling, use their sentence in your sale pitch, kind of thing.
Right.
And then when
I got to get my power cord. Hang on.
Okay.
You can keep talking.
Okay. So then I do my people that told me no, and then I do my cold messaging. And that's people where I go to my Facebook page, friends, I scroll about a third way down, I find people that are no longer on my news feed. I go to their page and compliment, like a post and comment so that they eventually come to my news feeds. And then I send them a private message with my initial touch to get their engagement.
And when
Lost you.
am I back?
There you are.
Okay. So a question I have for you, because something I've noticed something about my news feed now.
Yep.
So have you noticed anything different in your news feed now from the people you've messaged?
They're like there.
Yeah, the people I've been messaging are showing up in my news feed now.
Yep. So I have
And
like a whole
so,
new,
what's that?
I used to see like the same 7 or 15 people, you know, in between there, and now I've got a whole variety of people.
Right. So not only engaging with them on your page makes a difference or your profile, but it makes a difference even just messaging. Then they start showing up in our news feed,
Yep.
which we learned that last Monday, and that I had no clue. Did you have an idea of that?
I've learned so much about Facebook with
Yeah.
that training that everybody spends 45% of their day on Facebook. And you
Yeah.
think that 45% of the day that you would have Facebook mastered. I don't know half of Facebook. And since that training, I'm actually not on Facebook for boredism. I don't get on just to flip through news feeds like I used to and waste half my day. I get
Right.
on my multiple choice and get off. I get on for my training, I get off. I get on to do what I'm required to do through this camp and stuff, and I get off. I'm not really scrolling through to see who picked their nose or tattled on somebody else. And that's a lot
So
of what Facebook
so
is.
how did that shift happen?
When I started seeing the 5 minutes of results, I got hungry. And then my adrenaline, I remember playing basketball and I would get this adrenaline when we were winning. And that's kind of what I felt like. Like I felt like I was owning the court. And,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know. It was just a drive for me. I couldn't go to bed that night. It was midnight when I went to bed. I woke up at 4:30 and I got busy. And
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just exciting for me. I can't wait to do it. When I put the boys to bed, man, I'm working.
So as a busy mom, this is a great option.
It is because we're going to take birds to the house. I can do things when they're napping, when they're swimming in the pool outside on the patio. I take my laptop out to the picnic table. My boys have actually got into the business, and well, they like the products, as most of you know. So, you know, we could be out prospecting, or not prospecting. We could be at the post office and we'll be prospecting because my sons will say, "Have you tried Monat?" And they're like, "What?" You know, so they're getting to the point where they're doing my marketing for me, and we prospect everywhere we go. There isn't a place we don't say something, a
But
compliment or
right.
something, engagement. We don't always say Monat, but we give a compliment, and that's that initial touch that I've been talking about.
One question I have for you is these multiple choice questions you use, or sometimes I use a scale of 1 to 10. What kinds of questions are you asking? Are they all about hair?
No, actually, the first post I ever did was shave or wax. And people thought, what in the world is this? Like who
She has lost it.
asks shave or wax? Like everybody's mind went south. And it was funny because I had huge engagement. And what I was really trying to do is push the Men's Black moisturizer, aftershave moisturizer, because you don't get the razor bumps. You don't get the shafting. You actually moisturize so well that no matter what they do, they could use it. And so I was giving tips about that moisturizer on my business page, but I was getting the engagement on my personal page. And then when they would say something, I would add them to my business page, and then they would catch on like, oh, well, it's something new. And I had 2 people order that on their flagship.
Oh, that's a good idea. So you
Yeah,
don't ask them if you're going to add them on your business page, or do you? No.
I don't.
Um, I should start adding people that comment on my post to my business page.
If they like or comment on any of those open-end questions, I add them to my page because they can decline the
Right.
invite.
Well, and I like to have a good conversation with them on my post if I can. If they comment, then I ask them a few more questions,
Me too.
because the more engagement you get on your post, the more that post is seen.
Yep.
And I've just been having a great time having conversations with people.
Yeah.
And I know, like, okay, so like my coach, Terry, he was talking to me about doing the Whole30, right?
Yep.
So I was getting my mind psyched up for the Whole30. And I thought, well, I'm just going to ask, who's done it, how it went, and things like that.
Yep.
And so I got some great engagement on that. And I actually found out I have a few friends who did it and succeeded. And so that was nice to hear.
Yep.
Right. And
Yeah.
then just any kind of question, like whatever's on my mind, sometimes I'll just ask,
Yep. Because
and
what I like about that, Myrna, is you're not even mentioning your business, but you're building that rapport. And
yeah,
sometimes people will see it and then they have a personal question and they'll private message you. And if you can build that rapport, sometimes they'll start following you. And once that trust gets there, and that's a lot of things, is people have to have trust, especially after all of our negative feed. When
right.
they trust you, you can build that trust beyond the negative feed in the media, and they're going to want to join you.
Don't you feel like asking the questions and the gentle way that we ask the questions, they're not leading at all.
Right.
They're very respectful and
Yep.
all of that. Don't you feel like that builds trust? Do you feel better about that than what you were doing before?
Yeah, because most people know that I'm a very straightforward person, and usually when I want an answer, I'll just come out and ask, like, are you interested? Well, that, can scare people away because they think you're just padding your pocket, really.
Right.
And
Right.
you're just selling it because you want to make money. And if you've been following my page, I've, Vegas and then Bermuda. And so they think I'm just earning these trips and good for you, but I'm not going to put my money into your pocket. So I feel like if you build that trust, they know that this is actually a business for me. This is my career and not just some sideline thing. And they trust me, so then they want to join.
So they also, I guess I feel like we concentrate on asking questions about them, get them talking about themselves. And I just feel so much better about doing that.
Yep.
And just the whole interaction is better. And I had one of the Question Queen training people, one of the people in the group with us, that messaged me the other day, and she's like, oh, and I spent a lot of time asking her questions and things. And she said, when I first got into the Question Queen, I met someone in your company and I asked them these questions and they didn't have time for me. And so I said, well, and we're just learning a whole different
Yep.
way. And it was so fun to see your light bulb come on that night.
And it's kind of
And
funny because I still have that moment where, like, I still write everything down before I start my message because
right.
the old wants to come in, but then I'm like, wait a second, it's about them. It's
Mm-hmm.
about them.
Yeah, and it does take that pause, doesn't it?
Especially for me.
It does for me too. And so, what are your thoughts? I mean, should other team members get involved in this training? I mean, is it worth the money? How much did you have to spend? Do you mind saying?
So when I told my husband, he's like, great. Now how many hundreds or thousands did you spend? And in all the years that I've been in trainings and paid money to be a salesperson, to be able to sell ice to an Eskimo, this was actually inexpensive, and I got more out of the first 20 minutes than I have gotten in 19 years of training. And I actually, like I said, my adrenaline is crazy. I can't wait till the next meeting. Our next one is tomorrow morning, and it's during my hour routine workout at the YMCA. Man, I got my earbuds charged up, and I will
Ready to
watch my
go.
entire workout. And my mom's like, "How can you watch training videos when you're working out?" I don't know. It seriously gives me adrenaline. Like, I am ready to go. As soon as I leave the YMCA, man, I'm doing something. I'm doing something.
Right. Okay, so Lindy asked or said this, she commented this. She does the same thing. She writes everything down.
And that's smart, because what happens is you get so caught up in your excitement that
Mm-hmm.
you start to type in and you don't proofread before you send, and then you go to read it and you're like, oh my goodness, that is, I should have said
Right.
this, should have said that. And if you actually write it down, go get a pop and come back and reread it, retype it, you will actually dial it in where you aren't focusing on your needs, you're focusing on their needs.
Right. And I learned a little trick yesterday. I'm like, why didn't I know this before? But if you hit the enter button on your computer when you're typing in Messenger, it sends the message. But if you just want to return, you can actually hold the shift key down and then hit enter,
Oh,
and it just gives you a space.
I did not know that either. Thanks for
I
sharing.
know, but it's hard. I mean, it's hard to remember. Okay, hold this down, hit the enter.
Yep.
So, but that's really cool. That is so awesome. Anything else that you think of I should ask or you want to share? Any questions, Lindy, that you have that we should share? She's checking her notes.
Yeah. I knew that there was one big thing that actually intimidated me, and I don't know why it intimidated me, but um, when people say no, you kind of ask them why. Because, and I had this, a girl yesterday, she said, well, after all the negative stuff I just shied away. And I said, I can't remember. I should look at my notes. I said, oh, I completely understand that 100%. And I would not want somebody to join if they were unsure. And she said, well, have you experienced it? But she came back and asked me my experience. So it was my story, my why. And so I told her that I had results with my boys, and then with me, I've been with it for a year and 8 months, never seen it. I've had one person return the product, and that was because they just completely did not like it, didn't see the results that they wanted.
Uh-huh.
And she actually asked for samples. So at 4 o'clock yesterday, I took her samples, and she ended up getting a haircut right after I gave her samples. So she's starting brand new this morning. She already texted me and said, oh my God, my hair's so soft. It's like I just left the salon again. So I have a feeling she's going to join. But
Right.
yeah.
And so isn't that nice to be able to say, to find out why without it being confrontational?
Yes. Yes.
And so say again how you ask that.
My grandpa.
Oh,
So when they say no, I say, can I ask the reasoning of the quick no? I mean, I completely understand you want to say no, but I just would like to know for learning experiences or something like that. I keep it positive.
so you validate them and then you ask their permission.
Correct.
That is awesome.
I'm glad
And,
you're proper. I just talk.
well, I know, but I want to kind of bring those points out so people,
Yeah.
catch them, because
Yep.
those are key to validate by saying, I understand, and then to ask permission.
Yep.
Because if you ask permission, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get it.
Correct.
So yeah, and Lindy says that it's very inexpensive, less than $100. You can even do the 30-day trial and do part of it, and then I think what we did 2 things together to get the
Yep.
messaging thing, didn't we?
Yeah.
And
And
so
137, I think.
I think
For
so
both
too.
training.
For 2 things, we're getting huge value. We'll probably earn our money back just with the messaging boot camp. So
I don't know. I felt like it paid for it when I had 14 out of 15 respond.
just the feeling of confidence, right? And
Yep.
the encouragement and everything.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
very cool. Very
I would
cool.
encourage people to look into it, I guess.
Okay. And
Yeah.
so if people want to look into it, it's called Creative Success Systems. I talked about it, I guess, at our team meeting last Sunday. Was it last Sunday already?
Yep. Yep. Well,
And
that's when I joined.
that's right. And
Yeah.
I think so. And so just, and if you need information, just reach out to me. We get no affiliate income or anything from it. And I really love her style of teaching. It's not overwhelming. And what did I tell you, Michelle or Amanda? She is
She holds your
she'll
feet to the fire
without drawing blood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
she was not gonna let me quit because
mm-hmm.
I was frustrated and couldn't task it. And I'll tell you, that's hard for me. Like
Right.
it was very hard for me, and I was about ready to hang up because I cannot handle
Mm-hmm.
that. I can't. And I was about to hang up. I was actually Facebooking Myrna like, I am so out of this. I'm gonna hang up. And she, before I could hit the button, she was like, okay, Amanda. I'm like, oh no. And she actually made me feel like, she calmed me down. I mean, she wasn't saying it to embarrass me or anything, but she's like, okay, who do you have on your list? What do you know about the guy? Go to his profile. What do you know about him? And she walked me through it and actually did it word for word for me and followed it. Oh, get those bugs outside. Outside. I don't care. Yes, I don't want them in the carpet. Sorry. Yeah, he's a bug lover lately. We found a turtle yesterday, and yeah, anyways. But she held my feet to the fire, very professionally, calm, and I got results. Like, she made sure to see me to the end. And then when she went around the whole group, she came back to me to ask if I got it dialed in, and I read her my first one, and it was to a guy that owned a gym, and that was like, out of everybody, she didn't have to change one word. And I'm like, cha-ching!
Yeah.
That's my success right there. I was just happy.
Yeah. And she does that. I mean, she walked you through it. She taught you how to do it without making you feel like you didn't know anything.
Yeah.
And then she came back around to make sure you got it. And
Yep.
I love that. So I love her style, and it's small enough groups.
She doesn't just take your money and say, you're on your own.
Right. Here's my videos.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, thanks, Amanda. I so appreciate your time. And I felt like this would be a great way to spend our Sunday afternoon. And instead of a team call, this way people can hop in when they want and get the value. And I appreciate you joining that with me, because I just know if we can get some momentum going in that direction. And to me, we have some busy moms on our team. And if they knew they could spend so little time each day working their business and get results, it would be so encouraging to them. Yep. So I really appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Your willingness to share and everything.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Thanks.
Have
a great day. And the rest of you, if you have questions, just message one of us and we'll be happy to help you out. And we hope you have a great Sunday. We'll talk to you later. Lindy, and there's another gal on here whose name I don't.
Shannon. Hi, Shannon.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't.
And
maybe. Okay, Crystal. That's right. It was Crystal. Yep. All right. Thanks, ladies, and we'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye-bye. Bye.